Yo,
What's up, Dugan? Damn, you're really growing that thing out up there, huh?
it's about to say, man, you need to buy your wife some roses or something.
It's
Take
so,
her out to dinner, for God's sakes.
it's so funny. People must watch this stuff because, like, I did that Annie Duke interview and I had shaved before it, and somebody actually made the comment, "Oh, Shapiro must have got laid."
I saw that. Yeah, you got shaved up for that one.
Yeah, I did shave
So,
for it.
did you enjoy the chat with Annie?
Yeah, it was good, man. A lot of people don't like her, man, and they were like ripping into her, and like I went and looked it up. I guess she's had a little bit of a checkered situation going on, but
Really? What's the scandal on Annie?
you know, that whole poker thing, man, where they were all these poker players were getting involved with all the online poker things, and then they were apparently looking at people's hole cards on online poker and just fleecing them for millions of dollars.
Oh,
And
I heard about that.
I don't
Yeah.
think she necessarily, I don't know what her involvement was, but she was involved with a company that did get in trouble for doing that. So I guess there's a whole hatred for her. But to me, it wasn't about that. You know what I mean? It was about something else, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
About her book and her thought process and how we can apply that to market. So, people
Yeah.
do things, you know what I mean? And what are you going to do? I'm here to fucking judge. So anyway, but besides that, it was good. I really liked it. She's a smart person.
She is a smart lady. All right. Yeah. It's intense. It was a good chat. I watched it. It's
Oh,
great.
you did? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. So, tell you what, that Swiss franc trade has got to be doing well.
I mean, it's all right, dude. It's in the money, so it's better than not being in the money.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And no doubt you took some of those oil trades. I was slinging your way.
Somewhat.
You're still all those short oil trades I was slinging your way.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I have one trade on, dude, which is a Swiss franc, and I'm sort of in and out hedging it with a short 30-year bond trade. But that's really all I'm doing, man. I don't see edge here. I really don't see edge here. So I am happy to
Yeah.
sit back and wait until there is some kind of edge. Even last week, I don't think the markets, I'm always looking for when the markets do something strange. I don't think that it was very
Yeah.
strange. You got some news that got bonds to rip. They were super oversold. People were starting to hate them too much. They ripped, and therefore stocks ripped with them, and the dollar went down with it. I didn't see anything abnormal there. I mean, the volatility was a little higher than normal, but that's because we were coming from such, I think, oversold levels on
Mm.
that stuff that, one piece of news, or a couple pieces of news really got it sort of flaming. But I mean, look at these 30-year bonds, man. They actually closed on Friday. Everybody who bought 30-year bonds post non-farm payroll was out of the money by the time the market closed. And now we're right back to where we were pre non-farm payroll. So that's not very
I'm looking at that. Yeah.
not very strong action in the bonds, clearly. I had one
A
of
nice
my
little chart there, actually. It's on its 50-day moving average. It just bounced off of it.
oh yeah.
Uh, Friday's low. Actually, a nice little kiss. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, all of that, but all this bond rally, well, it's not a bond rally, but a bid back into the bonds. It seems to be like the minute Bill Ackman said he was out, everyone was like, okay, we're in, buy the bonds.
Yeah.
And then Barron's was like, yeah, yeah, buy bonds. The time is now.
Yeah, I
But
know. I know. And then the government came out and said, they're not going to need to fund as much as people thought. And I got the squeeze going, and then you get the non-farm payroll. Yeah, it's markets. Markets. I'm glad I wasn't short. I wasn't long, but I'm glad I wasn't short. Um,
yeah,
so I would still bet that long end rates are going a lot higher, but it doesn't mean it's happening today, although it is happening today, but doesn't mean it's just going to go straight back up. I mean, markets have a way of just kind of hanging around for long periods of time and then suddenly going, right?
yeah.
So,
I
we'll
think if we
see.
go a wee bit higher on the Dow, like 34, 332s, you could see some sellers try and have a go there. But who knows if they're going to win or not, you know? And
I have,
if they win, well, what does that mean? Like, does that mean 10 days down, 100 days down,
yeah, I don't know.
down?
I
Who
have,
knows?
I have nothing but cross currents in all the shit that I look at. So I have nothing to add to the argument because I can make both sides very easily. Too many, record call buying and the Russell, that to me is bearish. But then you have, other things that are bullish on sentiment and on positioning. So I keep telling people they get pissed at me, but I'm like, the only thing I know is it's either going to go up or down, you know. But
Yeah,
but
exactly.
which one? I have no clue. If it goes up and you're long,
Yeah.
you'll be happy. If it goes down and you're short, you'll be happy. Other than that, there's nothing for me to do. I think that it's part of, quite frankly, graduating to big boy trading, knowing when to step away.
Yeah.
Something that not a lot of people like to do. Something that not a lot of people do successfully. But I think it's an incredibly important part of this game. And for me, because I follow a process, I don't have to guess when to step away. If my process is not saying it, don't to do anything, well, then I
Yeah.
automatically step away. I mean, this is the good thing about having sort of a process is it tells you what to do by itself, and you don't have to sit here and guess, right?
We were talking about this morning, actually, how I used to work in a large prop firm, and we would trade like 14 opens and closes a day, like just everything. We would trade everything on the open, and then maybe a close or whatever. But if we were at our desk and we had our ladders open and it wasn't over an open or a closing period, like the head of trading would be like, close those fucking ladders,
Yeah.
And he's just like, you have a slot machine in front of you, and if one of these markets has a little blip, you're gonna click a button prematurely, and you're gonna get into something that you don't want to be involved in. So he's like, I don't want to see your ladders open unless you're actively trading, like an open on oil or copper or sugar or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, I totally agree with that as well, and I try to get it across to the guys in the room as well. Just don't be so fixated on the markets.
I've had some
And
little conversations in the last sort of week that it's interesting as I've become involved in this sort of helping to educate side of the business, it kind of opens your mind up a lot because I don't really think about these things consciously because the things I've been doing,
yeah,
I've been doing for so long, you know what I mean? That I don't think
yeah,
about them consciously necessarily. But as people are asking questions and as you're trying to help people understand, you start to think about them on a much more conscious basis. And you have to repeat it all the time because people are asking very similar questions a lot. And you're repeating it all the time,
yeah,
and it crystallizes. And it's strange because this is something I've been doing for so many decades, right? That it
yeah.
just becomes second nature, and then you start to hear questions from people who just started, and you forget that that's how
It's
people
second
think.
nature.
Well, you forget that that's how people think about this shit.
Yeah,
And it helps because it helps to reinforce this stuff. But I got on I didn't even know, but I got on Twitter like on Friday afternoon, and Jack Schwager was having a talk with somebody,
oh yeah,
and it said my name in there. I'm like, oh, these fucking people are talking about me, man. Like that's weird anyway. But so I thought I'd go on there and listen, and they're like, oh, Jason's on here. Oh yeah, welcome. Turn on your mic. Oh. And one guy was asking Jack about something about trading, and his whole point was, he's trying to make, 85, 90% winning trades. And how does he go about that? And Jack gave such a great answer, which is that's not what you try to do because you're not going to accomplish that. So, what you try to do
yeah.
is make a lot of money
In the
on the ones
process.
that you win and don't lose a lot of money on the ones that you lose. And like shit
Yeah,
like that is just so second nature to me, but it's amazing that people are still that's still what they're trying to do. It's not still because they're starting, and so that's always what you're thinking, right? And I
yeah,
was writing some shit up this week, and I'm like, to me, and none of this is about getting the market right, you know, because you're going to get the market right, you're going to get the market wrong, and whatever, it's about maximizing when you do get it right and minimizing when you get it wrong. That's what this whole fucking thing is about, man. That's it. And part of that
yeah,
means, having a process that tells you when not to do anything, which gets to the original point, right?
yeah.
So,
A lot of people, when people
it's
start out,
kind
they
of
kind of
cool.
go, when I talk to like traders who approach me for mentoring or training, one of the first things they always quote is like their win percentage. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, what's your daily R? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, what's the one risk unit you have per day that you're willing to lose? And they go, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, right, well then your 60% doesn't mean shit. Win rate of 90% doesn't mean shit because you don't know how much you're losing on those 10 percenters, you know?
No, that's what I'm saying. People they look at I think that they're looking, and it's not a mystery why you would want to look at that, right? That makes sense. It makes inherent sense. Hey, I want to win more than I lose, right? I want to win 80% of my trades. I want to win 90. Yeah, that makes inherent sense, but it just ends up not being
A
relevant.
reality.
It doesn't end up being
No.
relevant. It's not even fucking. I try to tell these people I've made a career on 38% winners, um, and that's me. But I'm like,
Yep.
it's not just me, man. You look at the people who say they have 90% hit rates, right? And these are all people that are
I
on
don't even
Twitter.
look at them, man.
No, they're
I
trying
don't
to
look at
sell
that shit.
their day trading services. Okay. And then you look at the people who say they have less than 50% hit rate. Their names are Tudor, Kovner, So
Yeah.
who you want to believe,
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, no one believes anybody except themselves. So go out and learn the lesson, and then like I always say, you got to go out and learn the lesson.
Yeah, you gotta learn the lessons the hard way. The easy way, you don't learn anything.
Right.
There is no easy way to learn lessons in trading, as far as I'm concerned. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
was actually just listening to this kind of cool blog. What do you call them? My wife always laughs at me because I always
Blog?
forget what they're called. They're not called blogs anymore. They're called like webcast.
Oh, podcast?
Yeah, podcast. Such a boomer. So I was listening to this kind of cool podcast by this guy from Stanford who is all about learning and how to learn faster and how to learn more efficiently. And he kept saying his and this guy is like the expert in this. And he kept saying
No.
that the number one thing you have to do if you want, and he's talking about it chemical wise in the brain, right? This guy is a doctor of all
Yeah.
that shit, right? And he's
Yeah.
saying you have to develop these chemicals in the brain, right? That as a kid you have a lot of, and as you get older dissipates, which is why it's so much harder for older people to learn new things, right? But he's like,
Right.
and he said, what we found the best way to develop these chemicals in your brain is to make mistakes. That's what gets it going. He goes, so if you want to learn better and you want to learn quicker, you have to make a lot of mistakes. And he's not talking about psychologically, he's
Right.
talking about physiologically. You have to make mistakes. So I
Yeah.
thought, and we know that inherently, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't even remember the
Isn't
guy's
that
name.
There's a Carol D. Zwick book called Mindset? And like a lot of people, the kind of premise of the book is like people have an open mindset or a closed mindset, where she kind of talks about like people who don't like to lose kind of have this closed mindset because they've always like only done things they know they can win, or they only do things they know they can complete or achieve. And
Right.
if there's any doubt about hitting the target on anything, they don't do it. And so
Right.
they limit themselves from adopting risk, right? Because they don't want the risk of failing,
Right. Right.
and that's a closed mindset. Whereas the open mindset is, well, I'm going to do this. And, if it burns up or if I crash, all right, I'll take that information and I'll learn from that.
Yes.
And then I'll keep going. I'm
Right.
going to go and cry in the corner about it. So
Right.
good
So
book.
anyway, I was trying to get back to the point of sometimes you just gotta know when not to trade and just be okay with it. Like I haven't made
Know
shit.
when to hold them.
Yeah, my
Know when to hold them.
my P&L peaked at the end of June. So we're talking about July, August. We're talking about 4 months now, right? And I haven't made
Right.
jack shit. And I'm down 50 basis points. You know, and that's really the
Okay.
point. That's really the point. Like 50 basis points, I can make that, today, theoretically, right?
Yeah.
After 4 months. And that's part of as I go through this stuff and I'm thinking about it more consciously these days, that's really the things that
Hold
are
on. You're
important,
down.
Don't
You're
lose a
down
lot.
50 bit. You're down 50 bips on the year.
No, since I
No,
peaked
on the
in June.
since June.
Yes.
You're down.
A
Right.
four
Yeah.
month
Okay.
drawdown,
Yeah.
and it's a total of 50
You're
basis
four
points.
months wrong. Yeah, but on the year where
Uh,
50 or say.
I had a really good first half of the year.
Yeah.
Sort of a monster
Oh.
first half of the year. So I hit my.
Oh, you're good.
I try to make 12 to 15% a year. I hit that halfway through the year, which doesn't mean I'm going to close down. But the point being that you have to lose a little, lose a little, lose a little, lose a little. Because now when I go on a run, which maybe one day I will again, I'll be at new highs in a day, you know, instead of
Yeah.
making back all these losses. This is what the math of trading is all about. So
Yeah.
I'll get used to. So um,
Nice. Well, I think I think you'll get a pretty nice opportunity coming into the year end. You usually is one.
I mean, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? If my stuff sets up, it sets up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If my stuff works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah,
Santa could crash his sleigh, you know.
there'll be some things to do. I did have this guy who, in the midst of trying to find consensus and trying to find fadeable shit, um, this guy that I used to work with who is just maybe the worst. He just did a whole thing this weekend and telling us what was going to happen. And his conclusion was that small caps are going to lead. So small caps right off the bat are 1.5% under the NASDAQ today, right after he came out with this on Sunday night about
Oh no.
things are changing and this now that small caps are going to lead. How many times have people said that, by the way, over the last fucking 3 years, that this was the time that
Yeah,
small caps?
the stats are there though for the Russell coming out of it like a 12% drawdown or something like that. The small caps do have the stats to support they expand
I get it.
the
I
upside a
get it.
lot faster.
I get it. I'm just telling you, when this guy says something, I got to be very hesitant because I have witnessed this dude for many, 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 many years, and
Yeah.
he's horrible. So
Oh,
anyway,
listen, I was thinking of you. We were hearing news reports of a madman running around Maine with a gun.
yeah, I'm in Rhode Island now.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you're in. Oh, I keep thinking you're in Maine. Oh,
No, I haven't gotten that far yet. Um,
oh,
was not me, but I'm glad that's what made you think of me. I'm glad
well,
I'm getting my image out there correctly and accurately. Anytime you hear a fucking madman running around mass murdering people in New England, the first thing that comes into your mind is, wait, doesn't Shapiro live up there? Must be him.
there's a mad, hairy, sexually frustrated man running around with a sidearm.
Sido. He was running around with an AK-47, man, or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, I think he had loads of stuff, didn't he? Jesus. Yeah, crazy stuff, man.
What a country.
I know. What's the sentiment like going over there for Israel right now? Is everyone still
For what?
Israel's not so bad?
Yeah, the sentiment for what? That was
The
wasn't that
promised
something
people.
happened? Yeah, wasn't that something that happened like hasn't it been like 3 weeks already? No one's paying attention
Yeah.
to that. No one's paying attention.
Well,
Turn the page.
yeah. Well, everyone else is. Everyone else is paying attention here.
Turn the page.
Yeah.
You know, I want a 24-hour news
Yeah.
cycle, bro. Give me something new.
Nothing tradable. No, it's not a tradable event anymore. I think people really don't want to sell oil here, but it has managed to crunch lower and lower.
Yeah, I mean,
I do feel like I'm doing a Shapiro on it, to be honest, shorting this thing, trying to hold these shorts, man.
sure, you've heard.
Yeah. We gotten lows. Yeah, we've gotten lows. Just a break. Need a nice break, like at the 80s. Then I'll be happy.
I feel like
Below 80s.
that's another one where I just hear sentiment kind of all over the place. We know the point of, hey, we just had
The
the
oil
Israel
equity.
thing, and meanwhile oil can't go up, and that's so bearish oil. But then now I hear everybody saying that exact thing, right? So once you're saying that, maybe it's time to fade that. But and again, I don't know.
If
There's no trade to
it
make.
feels a bit like that. No, if it feels a bit like that because the hedge funds and the large players got out of their set. Well, it said that they got out of their net longs and they're now net short on oil. That
Right.
was Friday. So
Right.
I don't know.
No
Do
trade.
I want to? Yeah.
No trade. No freaking
Yeah.
trade. There's no trade in any of these things for me, man. I see no, I need massive consensus kind of thing for me to be looking to go the other way. And you tell me where there's massive consensus here. I just don't know anymore.
No, I don't know what it is either. We've had like a whole week of pulling back on equities. Like Google was down 10% after earnings there. Like people have got to buy that. They love it. They love all those popular Fang stocks, man. So like PayPal, all those payment space ones, really cheap, really, really cheap.
I hear a lot of people saying that they like PayPal. Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of
Mostly
PayPal
one I think
lovers
is
out
better.
there. It's only down 2.25% today. Um, Had a nice run last week though, but what didn't? I don't know if you saw that Goldman like favorite short versus favorite long index last week.
No. What's the favorite short long?
No, they have like these indexes that is like hedge fund favorite long index,
Yeah.
hedge
But
fund
what are they
favorite
chosen
short index.
stocks or markets?
I mean, it just like the shorts outperformed the longs by like 5% last week or something. So, like in other words, people got squeezed hard out of in the shorts.
Yeah, it was a pretty strong rally, I have to say. I mean, NFP came out 150, miss on what 330 expected or something like that. But I don't know. I think it was a tricky figure with all those strikes that you have, the union strikes going on in the States. Oh, I think that kind of skewed the figure. People were just going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's all above my pay grade to even understand what the hell we're talking about with that shit. But um, I just thought it was interesting that the shorts way outperformed the longs, which they haven't been doing all year. So it was a massive week for that, which means it was there was a big squeeze, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a boring time of year. It kind of feels like I'm kind of once I close out on this oil short, I'm kind of well, apart from day trades, which I only do when I feel well rested. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing to do for probably till the second week in December. I'm just kind of going to bide my time.
Yeah,
But might be time to go. I don't know.
that's
Something
pretty
else.
much what I'm doing until something shows me something. Something shows me something. Going to Vegas this week. You coming? We're having a Vegas
Coming you are.
party. We're having a Vegas party this weekend.
Who's a CMR?
Yeah, I mean, I was invited to like give like a talk or something at
Oh
this
yeah.
Traders for a Cause conference.
Oh yeah, with Sanglucci.
Yeah, so I'm going out to that, and then I just put the invite out there for anybody that was on CMR. And so I think we got about like 10, 15 people coming out, a bunch of lunatics. So
Really?
yeah,
Wow. Nice one.
yeah, hang out.
Wow. I'd love to.
I'm gonna meet.
I'd love to, but I can't.
I'll meet my partner for the first time. We've run this thing for 3 years now, going on 3 years. So I'll meet him for the very first time after 3 years out there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Of
So have you
course,
got have you
we're
got
gonna get
some
sugar bowls of Coke and sweets full of hookers. It's gonna be the plan.
you gonna rent a tiger?
Yeah, I grab Mike Tyson's Tiger. It's gonna be the whole thing. Get some roofies. Now these guys were like talking about like, oh, they want to get together. Where can we go for dinner? I said, look, man, I'll go anywhere as long as it's in the hotel because I ain't leaving the hotel. I'm showing up Thursday night. I'm leaving Sunday, and I ain't leaving the hotel. So I'll go anywhere you want to get
Yeah.
dinner as long as it's in the hotel.
Which
It's
hotel you staying yeah, which one are you staying at?
it's at the
What can you say?
Mirage. The
The
Mirage.
Bellagio? Oh,
No, the
the Mirage.
Mirage.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
don't know what the difference is, but I'm just gonna go and do what I got to do there and leave.
Yeah, last time I was in Vegas, played played poker and blackjack for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And then went drinking, with my friends. It was kind of a stag. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, we were there for 4 days. And this was the second day. And I woke up the next day and I was like, get me the hell out of here.
Yeah, 3, 4 days is about really 3 nights, I would say, is pretty much the max Vegas thing.
Yeah.
Seems to be
Yeah.
the run, but I don't even do it anymore anyway. Like I don't do it. I'm gonna bring my guitar with me, and I'm gonna sit in my room and play guitar most of the day. And then when I got to go give my thing, I'll go out and I'll give my thing. That's what I'll do.
Nice.
And I'll meet these guys since they're coming out, and I'll go have dinner with them and all that, and in the
That'll be
hotel.
nice.
And that's it. That's it, man. That's it. I'll have to save the Coke and hookers for next time. I just don't have it in me anymore. You see all this gray, right? I don't have fun in me anymore. I'm just a sad, lonely old man.
I gotta get a violin out here. There's gotta be some one lying around somewhere.
Waiting for my days to end. I was just I was talking about that to my best buddy from growing up, and he's just like, and he was saying the same thing. You know, he's like, I don't even give a shit anymore, man. You know what I mean? I'm just glad that I'm kind of on the other side already. That let these freaking young kids figure
Yeah.
out problems out at this point. You know, like I'm on the other side. I'm just gonna kind of cruise home from here, and he goes,
I think
I'm tired of worrying about it.
I think I'm at the foothills of your peak here. I kind of got the two kids, a 2.5 year old, an 8 month old.
Oh, you got
Just
forever. How
like
old are you?
I know I'm 42, but
Damn,
like
you got a late start on that shit, huh?
I know. Yeah, I know. But when it comes to like going out and stuff, I'm like, oh, really? I'm like,
Yeah,
unless it's all tidy and like it's all organized and everything, I'm just like, oh,
but
like I'm
you're Irish,
I
man.
just need more sleep.
You got to go out and have your beers once in a while, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I got beers in.
Your
I'm
pints,
I'm
they
talking
call it.
about
You got to
like
go have your pints once in a while. You talk about going on a
I have a
bender with
pint,
the boys.
pints. Yeah, pints, benders, having lock-ins, the whole lot, man.
Yeah, once you have your
Uh,
little kids, you don't really go on. The whole bender thing is
no,
over.
I'm talking about the big nights.
Yeah, those are
Can't
done.
just can't do them anymore.
No, those are done. Those are done. Wait till you get to be 50. You don't even
Hang
have
on.
a choice.
Once you get to mid 30s, your hangovers go from nothing to a nuclear fallout for 2 days. Like in your
Yeah,
late
well, once
30s.
you get to mid 50s, the problem is the hangover's one thing. Once you get to the mid 50s, it ends up being the physical recovery takes forever. You're in bed and you can't get out of bed for 3 freaking days. You know, your
I know that's
body just doesn't recover like it used to, you know. So you do that enough times and you
yeah,
just screw it. It ain't even worth it. At least that's what I do.
yeah, man. Oh, I know. I took a spill on the mountain bike yesterday coming down a mountain and
No,
nearly
I can't.
broke my leg, but it's killing me now.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Just feels like 10 years ago I'd be totally walking that one off. But
Yeah, you just bounce right back. No, once you get over 50, man,
yeah,
those things, they don't even heal. They never actually really heal. Once you get over 50, they kind of get a little better, but then they come back. You go ride a bike again and you feel it. Like the shit just doesn't heal. So that's why I take the tack of not doing anything. You're talking about people that don't want to take risks because they don't
you
want to.
can't not do anything. You
Well,
can't you
that's
can't
what I
do
do.
nothing.
I don't want the injury risk.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that yesterday when I was lying on the ground. I was thinking, do I need the risk of potentially going to hospital every time I get out on this bike? But it's worth it. It's
No,
total.
it's good. It's clearly good for you. And then obviously, the more you do it, the more your body will stay strong and you'll be able to do it longer, right? I took a
Yeah.
break from all that shit for so long that I can't get to the point where now every time I do something, I get hurt. So my, I
You should
tend
do
to
yoga, man.
I tend
Yoga. I
to
could
just not
see
do
you doing yoga. Would you do yoga?
it. Yeah, I could do a little yoga. I don't, but I could. My wife sits down there and does that shit. She's got like this mirror thing downstairs that she does every morning, and
There you go.
she's always trying to get me to do it. But
You could go down there, have a little shave.
a little downward facing dog.
See, could you show me some moves, Mr. Shapiro?
Yeah, give me
No?
a little downward facing dog, right?
Yeah. It's important to do something though. Well, I thought I'd catch up with you and see how you're doing anyway and see if you were fully shaved or not. That was one thing I wanted to know about. And then
I'm as cheerful
yeah,
as ever, as you could say. But no, I just think market wise is not really for me a lot to do here.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I
nothing
think if
doing.
you're like a day trader or something like that, you're a short term trader, there's a lot of volatility to take advantage of, right? If that's what you do, it's just not
Yeah.
what I do. I think it's kind of interesting that the Swiss is actually and the euro are actually not down today, even though the U.S. bonds are 30-year bonds are almost down a full point. I think that's kind of interesting. But other than that, that's just book talking anyway, because I'm long Swiss. But other than that, I just don't see a lot to do here, man. For me, my process, my style, I just don't see a lot to do here across every asset. Like we were saying, even the energy shit, it's like it's become the other way. Hey, the market won't go up even though there's a war. Okay, but now everybody knows the market won't go up even though there's a war, right? So that's typically where it does
Yeah.
go up. just to squeeze them, right?
No, I think they were still trying to buy it all the way up until halfway through Friday's session on oil, and then it just seemed like the market was like, "Fuck it, we're out," and we just made a new low on the week. Actually,
Yeah.
on 2 weeks.
So
So I think there's a bit more realization of that to come in.
you would know better than I, man. You're much better at this short-term
The
trading stuff.
screams of the screams of retail traders. That's what we live on here.
Yeah, like I can't even. It's another thing I was saying to somebody this weekend. I was like, dude, I suck at trading. I go, so I had to make the choice to be a good risk manager. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I was great
There
at
you
trading.
go.
You know, I wish I was a great trader. That'd be fun, man. Hey, just come in, make money. I'm a great trader. I know how to buy this support and sell the resistance and make the range and trade around and do all these fucking things. Doesn't like I haven't tried. I tried for a long time, but I suck at it. So I had to learn how to not lose. So that was my thing. But for people that are good at
Yeah.
trading, God bless them, man. I suck at it. So
In my experience, man, I mean, it's not that easy. And I've been doing this for a fraction of the time you've been doing it, but
it's
buying,
very, very
buying
hard.
support, selling resistance,
Or
it's
whatever it is that
really,
you do, in other words. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you do. I've just never, I've
yeah.
tried, I've had good runs of doing it, but as enough time passes, I don't make money doing it. So, um,
But I think that's
it's
exactly
been my
what
thing.
like traders need to hear. That to me, that's exactly what traders need to hear. Here's someone who's got like what 38% win rate, doesn't really give a shit about being a picker on direction intraday or any day, but he's you have your edge and you're killing it, man. Where and traders go, oh yeah, that's fine. He's a market wizard. He's got some special sauce, like secret sauce. He's got the secret indicator, man. You know.
No, that's what's so funny. We have this thing now every Sunday night after I send my report out in the afternoon. We do a Zoom call, and anybody in our thing that wants to get on the Zoom call can come. We do like a question and answer, and we have people kind of joining every week, so there are new people that come on, and one guy's like, saying that to me, like, oh, do you think that a retail trader has any chance versus sort of the institutional traders? I'm like, I'm a fucking retail trader, man. Like, okay, I
Yeah.
manage quite a bit, but I manage quite a bit of money, right? So I'm not a retail trader, but I'm not going to the, Goldman Sachs conferences every freaking 2 weeks where they're bringing out all this information. I'm sitting right here at my desk, and I'm like, every piece of
Yeah.
information that I have, you guys have. We
Everyone
talk
else has.
about our we talk
Yeah.
about it on our Discord all day. That's where I'm getting my information from nowhere any different than this, right?
Yeah.
You know, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you're a market wizard." I'm like, I'm so sick of that fucking word already. Like, you call me a market wizard because
There you are.
I was in a book that's called Market Wizards. So therefore, I'm a market wizard. I go, I'm here to tell you, dude. If I'm a market wizard, it 100% has to do with the fact that I'm really good at losing money. That's it. Okay, that's it. I'm
Jason's
really,
available for
I'm
Jason's
really good at
available for
losing.
motivational speeches and dinners if you
I'm just
need a
saying, dude.
motivational
That's what
speaker.
makes one a market wizard is losing money, knowing how to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Be a good loser. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
If I'm a market wizard, that's why. Nothing to do with my ability to pick markets going up or down. Nothing to do with my ability to read the macro world better than anybody else. Nothing with my ability to have better information than anybody else, which I certainly don't do, right? I don't have. It's nothing to do with that. And 100%, this is my whole new mantra. It's like, it's 100% to do with me willing to take losses. That's it. That's the only thing that maybe separates me from other people.
That must really frustrate you now when you talk to, traders and people in the markets where they're just kind of automatically, thinking you have like this secret sauce and you're at this other level where, you're behind the veil basically of trading information, and they probably think that there's like this imaginary veil of where they rig the market behind, right?
No, and I said again last night, it was the same thing. Then some guys would come on there and ask questions like that. Well, where's the Canadian dollar going? I'm like, look, I know you want me to tell you where the Canadian dollar is going because I'm a market wizard. Okay, so therefore I know where the Canadian dollar is going. But I'm trying to explain to you, if I'm a market wizard, it's because I know that I don't know where the Canadian dollar is going, right? Like that's the ironic thing
Yeah.
about it. right? You guys want me to tell you where the market's going. And the only answer I have for you is I have no fucking idea, right? I have no clue.
Yeah.
That's just the honest answer, man. And nobody does. I don't care who that you are, right? So, they want to be about
Sure.
that, and I keep trying to tell them that that's not what it's about. And we have had a whole bunch of people buy into that whole thought process, and I've watched their trading, and they tell me that their trading has just gotten incredibly better once they start to do that. But you still have people that are like kind of join my thing because I've been in market wizards, and they think I'm going to tell them where the market's going to go, and I just refuse.
Sure.
And I refuse. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to lie, man. I don't know. I look at, I can hopefully
It's
help you find risk reward, but
But I hate the like sheer lunacy of the question. It's like, well, okay, okay, what's the answer? Or like, say you do give an answer. All right, the loony's gonna go up. I think it's gonna go up. Well, then you gotta like your question has to be like your question should be, hey, do you think the loony's going up or down, and where's my risk? That's the question. If you're gonna ask,
yes,
like, I think about this a lot, and I talk about this to like mentees a lot. I'm like, if God himself or whoever your God is or whatever comes down in late in the night and says gold's going up tomorrow, I'd say that is useless information, man. Where is my risk? And then I got something I can work with.
even better. I always thought that
It doesn't matter.
the greatest question, if you're interviewing traders to me, would be this: if I gave you the newspaper a year from now, okay, one day, November 6th, 2024, and you could look at that newspaper and see where the S&P is. All right.
Yeah.
The S&P, where's the S&P now? 4381.
4381.
Okay, so if we looked at the newspaper a year from now and it told you that the S&P was at 2381, and that's the only piece of information you do, what would you do right now? How would you handle that?
In a year from now.
We know for a fact that in a year from now the S&P is 2381. We know for a fact that right now it's 43.
Oh, okay.
So what do you do?
Yeah, right. I fucking nothing.
Exactly, because what does that mean? It doesn't tell it. The thing could be 6381. The thing could be 6381 in 2 months, right? So how do you handle that trade?
Where's my risk? Exactly. That's the question. Where's my risk? Oh, great. It's going to 23s. Great. Well, where does it go to before it goes to 23s? Does it go to 10,000?
No, that's right. Yeah, does it go to 10,000?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. The thing could be at 10,000 the day before it goes to 23 and then crash to 23 that day. And if that's the case,
exactly,
you're going to be you're going to be broke, right?
Right.
And B, well, no, just A, you're going to be broke, which would have shorted.
You're just going to be broke and dead.
23, you're going to miss the whole thing. The best answer, the best answer I've ever heard to that question, because I brought this up before with people, greatest answer I ever heard was, if I gave you the newspaper in a year's time and it told you where the stock market was going to be in a year, what would you do? And the guy's like, I would tell you that you were crazy because there's no way to get a newspaper a year's fucking time. So I would immediately think that you're just bullshitting me. So I would just ignore it. That was the best answer I ever heard, right?
It's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So to your point, it's not about where the market's going. It's about what is the risk, right to your point.
Yeah. Knowing where the market's going to go is pointless. It's timing how you jump on that wave when it's going there. That's the trick. That's the golden indicator. That's the secret indicator is the timing and knowing your risk. To me, that's the secret indicator.
100%. And this was another big point that I've been making this last week on this TLT thing, right? I could have told you 2.5 or whatever it was 3 years ago that the TLT was going to drop 50% in that time period, right? But meanwhile, there were 3 rallies in the meantime between 15 and 20%. Okay.
You would have been broke.
Right. How did you handle that? When do you sell it? Or when did you take advantage of that? And it's just, and I like to look at it in the past like that because it helps you think about the future. Oh, well, do you still think interest rates are going up? Yes. And of course, that doesn't mean they are, but in my personal opinion, yes, I think the long end interest rates are going up. But what does that mean for this week or this month or even could be the next 6 months? It doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Even if it's right, it doesn't mean shit, right?
It's untradeable information.
Yes.
Untradeable information.
That's right. So that's what we have to focus on. as if this is what we're trying to do, make money trading,
Yeah.
then we have to focus on, yeah.
That was the greatest, one of the greatest things a former head of trading ever taught me. He's just like, he's just like, I was talking about, I don't know, some interest rate stuff or where the Fed was, and everyone was getting really tied up with what the dot plots were showing, and it was like all this stuff. And I was just listening to other senior traders in the stop plot meeting we had, and he just cut right in, and he's just like, guys, what's the fucking trade? And he's like, I don't give a shit where your dot plot is, here, there, whatever. I don't care, what you think the interest rate's going to be, blah, blah, blah. What's the trade? And if you can't tell me what the trade is, within 5 minutes, this meeting's over. And he's dead right. Too many people want to have a pub conversation about, oh, Jerome's going to wear a red tie and it's going to mean he's going to fucking pause till the cows come home and blah, blah. It's like, what is the trade?
Also a conversation that was in my Zoom thing last night. The guy's like, Jason, what do you think about the dollar? Do you think it's going to lose, status as the global currency? I said, listen, man, we can sit here and have this super interesting conversation for the next fucking half hour about that. And I can give my opinions and you can give your opinions and we can all just jerk each other off about how intelligent we are. But it means fucking nothing. Exactly. It doesn't help us make money. Who gives a crap? Can I sit here and make the whole argument? We know the argument, the whole, Ponzi scheme. And, we can sit here and have that conversation all day. And it makes you sound really smart and it's very interesting and all that. But who cares? Is it going to help me make money? That's it. You know what I mean? It's like, all you care about is money. No, not all I care about is money. But when it comes to trading, yes, that's all I care about is money. Okay? That's
I love that. I saw on a tweet feed, some girl that I follow who's a trader or something was questioning, like, why do if traders are making money, why are they running Discords? And I didn't tweet back, but I felt like saying, because we can make money sharing our insights, and that's what we do. We're traders. We like to make money. It's our job to make money, and we're not sitting here for the benefit of our health and, to generate money and generate alpha. It's just like, that's what we're here to do.
I definitely get that now.
And help other people to do.
If you're such a great trader, then why are you selling a Discord for $100? I'm like, first of all, I could sell it for fucking $1,000. Second of all, I make money off of it, which you don't know, and I don't. But the point is, there are other things besides that, and clearly there are. And the easy answer is, if people have such a great thing, then why would they share it with other people? Why wouldn't they just make money out of it? And I think that's valid.
Yeah, it is valid.
For my personal Discord and my personal stuff, as I've said a billion times, that's not what it's about. It's not about me giving you the trades. Okay. It's about everybody getting on there and helping each other with the psychology of trading, which is much more important, right? All these conversations like we're having, sharing that type of thing. Yeah. It's not about, hey, Jason Spear, the market wizard, said buy Swiss franc, so let's all buy Swiss franc. I tell them every single day. Every single day, I'm telling these guys not to do that, right? I'm the opposite. I'm like, don't come on here to take the trades that I'm telling you to trade, right? Come on here to help learn this whole psychology thing, right? So
I was in your room and in the chat there, every now and then there'd be like someone going, hold on, what did Jason say? He's short the down. Yeah. Oh my God, is it too late? Should I get in? Am I short? Will I sell it? And what did he say about
it's normal.
Look,
it's normal. I think it's normal human behavior. You know what I mean? There's also part of it. People want to track what I'm doing so that they can call me out as a freaking loser, when I'm losing. I think there's part of that. But yeah, there's a lot of that goes on. But and if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. They're going to have to learn the lesson the hard way that way then too, right? I try to tell them. I go, you haven't done this way for a long time. When it doesn't work for a period of time, you're not going to be able to stick with it like I will, because I know the longer history. These are all reasons why trying to do exactly and there's even more deeper reasons too, right? My motivations are not the same as your motivations. I run a business. The reason I have a business is because I offer positive return with negative correlation. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily your goal. What do you care about correlation, right? To other hedge fund return streams. You only care about P&L, right? Yeah. Whereas I care very much about correlation. I'm trying to maximize return within the constraint of having negative correlation, because that's what my business is. They don't need another trend follower. Nobody would have money with me if I was a trend follower, right? So there's all these reasons why they shouldn't be doing that, but they still will do it. And like we just said, they will learn their lesson, hopefully that way. Everybody needs to learn
Copy
their lesson.
trading is copy trading is so toxic, man. Because like I'm so what we do in Duggan Capital is like I teach the guys the edge that I trade and the edge that I was taught from like big prop firms. Well, it's a hybrid of a lot of things, but I teach them my edge, and then they go off and they trade that edge, understanding that edge, not copying my trades. They're not copying my trades. They're doing their trades.
Yes.
And they're using an edge,
Yes.
And so then we don't have it, any of this copy trade and it's Tim Short here. Is he long there? What's he doing there? And
right. No, that's exactly what I try to do with these guys. I'm trying to show them what I think is the edge, thought process wise, and now go out and I show them my trades mostly because no one's going to believe it if you're not producing good P&L, right? So at least they can see I'm making money using this edge and then say, hey, maybe there's something to that. And then they can start taking that thought process edge and applying it, like you say, in their own way. That's really,
right. There you go. Yeah.
That's what it has to be. The copy trading thing ain't going to work, man. It just ain't going to work.
No, I had mentees where they just, all they wanted to do was copy my trades, even after I trained them. And they didn't have great results because they were always like ignoring what they were seeing and just wanting to do exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, everybody wants the easy way.
Like move for move. Yeah.
Everybody wants the easy way.
The quick way. They want a quick.
Yeah.
And easy. Yeah. Again, it's hard being perfect, but
just call me Mr. Happy Man. That's what they call me on Discord, the old grumpy guy.
OGG. The OGG. The OG.
The OG. I like that, but yeah, I guess I'm a little grumpy. What are you gonna
do? I think the normal amount, man. I think the normal amount. It's refreshing, I think, all right.
You do this shit long enough, you live long enough, you get cynical, man. I don't know what to say.
You're kind of hitting on something there because, like, over the last 2 weeks with this whole Israeli thing, I've been finding it really hard to detach from the news flow because
I went through that too. Yeah, I went. Oh, really?
Well, it's the one that you told me to get.
Just had this guy go, I have no car and I ran out of cigarettes. Would you smoke 2 of them before you fucking brought them?
These were mine. I bought them this morning. So, sorry.
Boy brought me cigarettes. I had no car and I ran out of cigarettes. And my wife ain't getting home for 6 hours. I'm gonna die. But anyway, dude, I gotta go because I got something at 11:30 that I gotta get ready for. By the way, love the color of your shirts, man. Keep it Dolphins all the time. You don't even know what that means, but you're basically wearing the Miami Dolphin colors today. So I love it, even though they took a brutal loss yesterday.
Anyway, we'll finish up. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about was like, I'm just so jaded over the last 3 weeks. I didn't want to interface with any of this stuff over the weekend. All these economists in town in Kilkenny nearby me. I was like, no, I'm not going. I don't want to talk about all this finance shit and the world falling apart. And already I'm just like, I think I'm turning into Jason Shapiro already.
No, I went through
certainly on the grumpy part.
Okay. Yeah, I went through that when the war broke out for the first few weeks. I went through a really weird place of what the fuck, you know what I mean? You're sitting here and you're like, okay, if they kill 1 million people this weekend, then I should be long. But if they're going to kill 10 million people this weekend, then I should be short, right? You go through that thought process, like, what the fuck am I doing? This is horrible, right? I went through that for the first few weeks, and then I turned off the TV and I don't pay attention to it anymore. And a good friend of mine, I think I said it in one of my videos, but a good friend of mine told me to focus on your blessings, man. You got 2 young kids, right?
Yeah.
They're healthy.
No, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you have to do. You can't. I'm just coming out of it in the last week. I went through like 2-3 weeks where I was in a funk, and my wife kept saying, "What the hell's wrong with you?" and all that shit. And I'm coming out of it now because I've turned that shit off, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's the sad fact.
Being
the only thing you can do is take care of those 2 little kids that you got in there. You know what I mean? Be glad that they're healthy. You know what I mean? That's
in a way though, being a parent's actually made it a lot harder.
No, of course, because I could care less. Like even for me, I could care less for me, but I got kids that have to live in this world for the next, hopefully 60, 70 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's very distressing.
You think about things like things, when I was trading and I wasn't a dad, like my whole mental process now is totally different. Like it's totally different.
Yeah.
So yeah, go out and have kids. If you want to improve your trading, go and have a couple of kids.
Yeah, except that you improve your trading and none of the money ends up going to you anyway, because those little bastards take it all, you know?
They need it. They need it.
Yeah, but no,
Gonna,
it's good. What better to work for than that, right? So anyway,
yeah,
that's what's helped me. Try to focus on, on that. You got two beautiful kids, they're healthy, there's a lot of people out there that unfortunately, children get sick, and there's nothing worse than that, right? So
oh
at
yeah,
least
man. We don't need to go on that rabbit hole, but yeah, jeez.
yeah. So try to focus on that, I think is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's what helped me. It
Each
didn't help
time.
me. Didn't help me on day one, but it's kind of helped me over. The guy was like, it was my buddy. He's like, what the fuck are you complaining about, dude? You know what I mean? Like you've
Yeah.
come through the hellhole and
Exactly.
you've gotten to where you want to go, and you're living better than 99.9% of the people on this globe, and your children are healthy, and you're kind of healthy, and your family's healthy. So
Kind of.
so like, what are you bitching about, dude? Like, what are you bitching about?
You're
And
dead right. We got so much, to be
right.
happy about.
So there it is. All right, I gotta go.
All right. Talk to you
Let's
later.
talk soon, man. Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Yep.